Jesus says, "The just are always wise, because as friends of God, they live in his company and are taught by him, yes, by him, infinite wisdom." My grandparents were just, and therefore they possessed wisdom. They could quote accurately from the book, singing the praises of wisdom from its context. Quotes, "She it was I loved and searched for from my youth. I resolved to have her as my bride." Unquote. Anne of Aaron was the strong woman of whom our ancestor speaks, and Joachim, a descendant of King David, had not sought so much charm and wealth as virtue. Anne possessed a great virtue, all holy attributes joined together like a sweet-smelling bunch of flowers to become one beautiful thing that was this exceptional virtue, a real virtue, worthy of being set before the throne of God. Joachim had therefore married wisdom twice, quotes, "loving her more than any other woman," unquote. The wisdom of God enshrined in the heart of a just woman. Anne of Aaron had not sought anything else but to join her life to that of an upright man, certain that family joy lies in uprightness. And to be the embodiment of the quotes, "strong woman," unquote, she lacked only the crown of children, the glory of the married woman, the justification of marriage, the one of which Solomon speaks. As for happiness, she lacked children, the flowers of a tree that has become one thing with the adjoining tree and obtains thereof abundance of new fruit, in which the two good qualities blend into one, because she had never experienced any disappointment on account of her husband. Although she was now approaching old age and had been Joachim's wife for many years, she was always for him, quotes, "the spouse of his youth, his joy, the most dear hind, the graceful fawn," unquote, whose caresses always had the fresh charm of the first nuptial evening, and sweetly fascinated his love, keeping it as fresh as a flower sprinkled with dew, and as ardent as a fire continuously kept burning. Therefore, in their affliction, their childless state, they spoke to each other, quotes, "words of consolation in their thoughts and troubles," unquote. And eternal wisdom, when the time came, besides teaching them in waking consciousness, enlightened them with dreams at night, visions of the poem of glory that was to come from them, and was most holy Mary, my mother. If their humility made them hesitant, their hearts trembled in hope at the first hint of God's promise. There was already certainty in Joachim's words, "Do hope, we shall gain our favour from God by our faithful love." They were dreaming of a child, they got the Mother of God. The words of the Book of Wisdom appear to be written for them. Quotes, "By means of her I shall acquire glory before the people. By means of her immortality shall be mine, and I shall leave an everlasting memory to my successors." Unquote. But to obtain all this, they had to become masters of a true and lasting virtue, which no event marred. Virtue of faith, virtue of charity, virtue of hope, virtue of chastity, the chastity of a married couple. They possessed it, because it is not necessary to be virgins to be chaste, and chaste nuptial beds are guarded by angels, and from them descend good children, who make the virtue of their parents the rule of their lives. But where are they now? Now, children are not wanted, neither is chastity. I therefore say that love and marriage are desecrated.